Let's start with Conor McGregor. And now that he's had a couple of days, what do you see, and have you had a chance to talk to him as far as what his immediate future is going to be?
Yeah, I was at his house last night talking to him. The kid's on. And what do you think his future is? He wants to fight again as soon as possible. He wants to jump back in there and he wants to fight again. We're working on who the next opponent will be.
Dana, Nate, a lot of folks that tuned into the fight, tuned in to see Conor McGregor, and may not have been aware of Nate Diaz, a tough kid from Stockton who has earned his stripes in UFC, and they see the man who quieted the mouth that is Conor McGregor. How do you spin that forward to get the most out of Nate Diaz as he moves forward in his career now after the biggest win of his career?
Yeah, it's about seeing what Nate wants to do next. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what's next. Listen, anybody who knows the Diaz brothers, I will tell you this. Nate Diaz made a lot of money on Saturday night. He made a lot of money. He made millions of dollars. So we'll see what happens. I might never see Nate Diaz ever again.
So much was made, Dana, about the fact that Conor McGregor agreed to make the fight at 170. Do you have any interest going forward in putting together these combo weight fights at all?
Well, what happened was, what everybody has to understand is what's happened Saturday night is Conor was supposed to go for his second world title at 155 pounds. Rafael Dos Anjos, the guy who was supposed to fight, broke his foot and pulled out of the fight 10 days before. So Conor said, let's fight Nate Diaz at 170. We're like, what? He's like, yeah, I want to fight him. So we called Nate Diaz, and we end up making that fight. Conor McGregor is so much fun in the fight business. Guys don't do that. Guys who are making the money that Conor McGregor makes and has the money in the bank and all the things that are going on with him. He has a world title. He just decides to jump up 2 weight classes and fight somebody else. Nobody does that, and that's what makes this kid so fun.
Dana, 4 months ago when Ronda Rousey was this express train that wasn't losing, many people thought that the bantamweight division for the women's may not be sustainable because you have the one star. Based on what's happened over the next few months, how has that division changed?
Do you know how long I've listened to people talk, what are you guys going to do when Chuck Liddell leaves? What are you guys going to do when GSP goes? What are you going to do when Anderson? I mean, it's just every day. Everything is doom and gloom, and Ronda Rousey is the whole division, and it's just this is a sport. This is a fight promotion. There's always somebody super talented coming down the pipeline, man. It's always been that way, and it's always going to be that way.
I thought it was interesting, Dana, that Saturday when you and I were talking on SportsCenter, and you were so critical of Holly Holm's management for taking the fight against Miesha Tate. As the president of the UFC, do you just present the facts and then allow the management to make the mistakes that this guy clearly made in allowing his fighter to go against Miesha Tate instead of waiting for the multi-million-dollar payday against Ronda Rousey?
The sad part about that whole thing is, and here's the thing. Listen, he's an old boxing guy who thinks that he is smart, and he is not. And it's one of those things. The thing that I feel bad about, I feel bad for Holly, because I don't know if Holly really knows what she lost. I think that she has so much faith in the people that surround her. And she feels like, well, I feel like they've got me here. But the one thing that you always have to do, like we had this meeting and Holly wasn't even in it.
Wow.
Holly, that's your life. You should be in that meeting. Mm-hmm. Don't leave it to these people. This guy, oh my God. Anyway, listen, Holly made a lot of money. She made a lot of money. She accomplished great things. She beat Ronda Rousey, but it could have been so much bigger for her. And the sad part is I don't even.
As we start to move forward now with your next 4.5 months, you've got Conor McGregor. I thought John Jones was as dynamic as I've ever seen him at the press conference on Thursday with Daniel Cormier. How excited are you to get John Jones finally back in the octagon in April?
I agree. No, I'm super excited for that fight. If you listen to the banter back and forth between them, obviously Cormier saying what a bad guy he is. He says, hey, listen, man, let me tell you this. I've never fought sober. This is the first time I've ever been sober for a fight camp.
Wow.
You know what I mean? The whole time he's been training his whole life, he's never been sober.
Wow.
So now he's sober, and he was, destroying people then. What's he going to be like now that he's serious? It's amazing, and he wants that belt back. And there's nothing Daniel Cormier wants more than to beat John Jones. And rivalries where guys are so talented, so good, and hate each other so much are very fun.